The West, the developed world, countries suffering from the cancer of wokeism, the racism and sexism of wokeism. We need an immune system, an immunity to these extremely bad, racist, bigoted ideas. The ideas of the woke left are as bad as the ideas of Hitler. They are literally that bad. They're as bad as the ideas of the Ku Klux Klan. Do you like the Ku Klux Klan? If you don't, you should also hate the far left, who are now just the left. You should hate forced diversity. You should hate unconscious bias training. These are Nazi tools. The left are Nazis. They're doing the same things that the Nazis did. It should be as socially unacceptable to be woke, to be left, to be an SJW. It should be as socially unacceptable to be an SJW as it is to be a Nazi. If you see an SJW, if you see someone on the far left, someone in Black Lives Matter, a feminist, somebody like that, just call them a Nazi. Say, you're a Nazi, you have ideas similar to the Nazis, I'm calling you out. Just do it. So these are the kind of immunities we need to destroy these bad ideologies. Society has immunities against many bad ideas. If you say, oh, look, Mum and Dad, I'm a white nationalist, sorry, I'm a white supremacist, you get shot down, rightfully. This is a bad set of ideas. But if you say, oh, look, I'm a wokeist, I'm in Black Lives Matter, be like, oh, yeah, well done. You're working against racism. Stop. If someone told you they're in Black Lives Matter, if someone told you they're a feminist, if someone told you they're an intersectionalist, you have the same reaction as if they're a Nazi. These movements are the same as the Nazis. They're discriminating based on race. They are racist movements. They're evil movements. They're movements that want to fuck whites. They are just as bad as movements that want to fuck blacks. There is no difference. The principle is identical. Society needs to build an immunity, because society has no immunity in the West, because the West thinks, oh, we were bad because of colonialism and shit. Actually, colonialism was a massive net win for every country. It happened too, but this is another point, and that doesn't even matter. Anyway, this was in the past, and nobody alive today is responsible for this stuff anyway. Society needs an immunity to attack bad ideas. The West's immune system was low because many people most erroneously thought communism was bad. Many thought slavery was the fault of white people. Slavery happened to all races. The Romans had many white slaves. 1.5 million white slaves were taken by North African Barbary pirates. Whites enslaved by blacks, 1.5 million. Many black people were facilitators in the slave trade, in the North Atlantic slave trade. White people ended the slave trade. Only white people ended the slave trade. Blacks didn't, no one else did, white people did. So, firstly, there is no reason to be ashamed. White should be, if you want to go down this road, white should be very pleased and proud of what they've accomplished in dragging humanity forward like no other race ever did. # you're welcome. Not that I subscribe to that. I don't think that's relevant either way. No one alive today is responsible for what happened in the past anyway. So that argument is invalid. But even if whites have been evil the whole time, it's again irrelevant. No one today is responsible for that. There should be no white guilt. Our immune systems should always be strong against bad ideas. And bad ideas, good ideas, are founded in principles. If racism is wrong in one direction, racism is wrong in the other direction. If you shouldn't be racist against black people, see if you can work it out. You shouldn't be racist against white people. This is just simple principle. And this is the exact opposite of what the far left is saying. The far left is saying you should be racist against white people. Sorry, that's just fucking racism. No, that's not acceptable. As a society, we do not accept racism. Sorry. Take your fucking idea and stick it up your arse. We need to re-educate you in why racism is bad. If you think racism against one group is bad, it's bad against all groups. That's called a principle. We need to teach people what principles are, because that is not acceptable behaviour. We need to strengthen our immunity. We can't just buckle when someone accuses us of racism. We can't say, oh, sorry, no, I can't, I'm not going to comment on this, I might lose my job. Well, no, if what you're saying is actually standing up for the principle of not being racist, just fucking do it. Society needs to grow a pair of fucking balls. We need a better immune system. We need when we hear something we know is racist, yes, it's hard for some people, but we need to stand up for it. We need to be principled. If enough people do this, these stupid Nazi-esque ideas from the left will die. And we have to kill these Nazi-esque ideas. The left are now the Nazi party. Jeremy Corbyn is a Nazi. Jess Phillips is a Nazi. Bernie Sanders is a Nazi. Democrat Party are being taken over by Nazis. Everyone on the left, well, not everyone on the left, but the people on the far left taking over the left are all fucking Nazis. They are racists. Very few people on the right are like the Nazis. It's a handful. Big chunk of the left and the people taking over the left are Nazis. Literally that bad. The ideas they propagate are that bad. The ideas they propagate are racist, punitive. They don't make sense. They're not logical. They're disgusting ideas. And our societal immunity must shut these ideas down as soon as we hear them. It's weak now. We need to boost it. We need to strengthen it. And we need to have an instant reaction when we hear racist ideas, whether it's against black people, Asians, whoever it's against. We need to fight racism, period. There's no excuse for this. And people need to start standing up, or this isn't going to get solved.
This was the Deviant Developer Podcast. Tap subscribe in any podcast app to never miss an episode. To contact me or make a welcome donation, go to thedeviantdeveloper.com.